Alright, movie people, what's up? Welcome back to Cody's Movie Cave. We've got an exciting one for you today. We're going back a few years ago, 2017, to the Arthurian or King Arthur version of Arthur and the Legend of the Sword. So yeah, sword. Got that right there. See, got my sword. Do some cutting, you know. Pull it from the stone. But yeah, so King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword stars Charlie Hunnam, and it's got Jude Law in it, so some two good leads right there. And basically, this story brings the dynamic style of the classic Excalibur myth to life. It traces Arthur's journey from the back streets to the throne, when his father is murdered and he's robbed of his birthright by his evil, dastardly, or however you pronounce that, villain of a uncle, played by Jude Law, who is evil and creepy as crap in this movie. But anyway, he's murdered and his uncle seizes the crown. Arthur then has to kind of grow up the hard way in a brothel, and he's more or less a gangster in this movie, which is a cool twist on the King Arthur story. It kind of has that gritty Guy Ritchie style that we're kind of used to and seeing in his movies, like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, Sherlock Holmes. He did both of those movies. So it has that Guy Ritchie style, which is, you know, if you've seen him in any of his movies, you know what I'm talking about. It's that London Cockney gangster style. So, but once he pulls sword from stone, his life is uprooted, turned upside down, and he's forced to sort of acknowledge his own legacy. Now, performance-wise, Charlie Hunnam is great. He's kind of bringing that Jack Sons of Anarchy swagger to the role of King Arthur. He does it fantastically well. It's a different King Arthur. This ain't your grandpa's King Arthur movie here. This is different. It blends gritty with fantasy, if you will. It's got real setting to the whole fantasy vibe as well. The movie is kind of got some disturbing content, a little creepy on some of the stuff that Jude Law's character is kind of dabbling in, so might scare the youngsters. So keep your youngins in their room, or watch it when they went to bed or something. But it's good for the grown-ups. The action is fantastic, especially toward the end. King Arthur, he's bad to the bone with a sword in this one. And what's interesting with this is the version of King Arthur's sword in this movie is, it's got a mind of its own. So it's he's got to learn to control it more than it controls him. So he's kind of got to learn how to wield Excalibur and claim his birthright. So the movie, when it came out in 2017, it was not very well received by the critics, and there really wasn't a lot of fans to it. So it didn't really perform at the box office, which is a shame, because I enjoyed the movie. I've watched it several times since. I think it was supposed to have the potential of a franchise, so we never really got to see a sequel, which is, again, a shame. So, King Arthur, go pull your sword from your stone. Check it out. I enjoyed it. It's on Blu-ray, as you can see. It's been out for a while. It's probably pretty cheap by now. It's got Charlie Hunnam, Jude Law doing, the villain role, and Charlie Hunnam is excellent as King Arthur. So, check it out. It's pretty good. Like I said, it's PG-13, and it's rated PG-13 for sequences of action, violence, suggestive content, and brief, strong language. And like I said, it's got some pretty frightening images that might not be appropriate for the youngsters. But with that said, I think the grown-ups will enjoy it, because I enjoyed it. It just didn't get out there. It didn't get the fan base that it needed. And like I said, it's a shame, because it's a good movie. It's kind of got a new twist on the Arthurian legend, and like I said, it's cool. It's a cool movie, because like I said, it's not so much, how do I say this? It's not so much old school King Arthur as it is back streets of London, gangsters. You know, he's running. He's got, before he even becomes king and pulls the sword up, he's already kind of got his own little criminal empire and cronies working for him. So he cool. You know, he's cool. He's got the swagger. The ladies like him. My wife digged it because, let's face it, she's a Charlie Hunnam nut. But I digress. Either way, if you're a fan of Sons of Anarchy, which a lot of people are, I am one of them, check this movie out. That's how I found out about it to begin with, is because I was a Sons fan. It's got Charlie in it, and it's really good. Like I said, he's kind of bringing that whole Jax vibe into this role, which, believe it or not, kind of works. So, it's on TV from time to time. I think it might be on HBO Max. So if you want to find it on one of the streaming platforms, it's all over there. You can buy it, rent it, whatever. It's pretty, like I said, it's probably pretty cheap by now. Check it out. It's not too long, but it's just long enough to get the story done. It's got some really cool talent in it. Like I said, the two leads, I've done mention them, but it's also got the guy that played Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. He's actually a good guy, believe it or not, in this, so might be worth it just to check it out for that. There's another Game of Thrones actor in it as one of the bad guys, so they pull a lot of people from that series. I think his name's Jaimin Hansu. I might be butchering that, but he's kind of one of the later down the line members of the Knights of the Round Table, so that's pretty cool. Eric Bana's in it. He was in Troy as Hector. He plays Arthur's dad that gets murdered pretty much right off the bat in the beginning, but he's the original wielder of the sword, Excalibur. So, yeah, check it out. Get your sword on, get your King Arthur on, and yeah, give it a look, give it a look-see. Like I always say, this is my opinion. Opinions are like butts. Everybody's got one. Some of them stink.